You've likened the environmentalist crowd, the pro-climate disruption crowd, to basically being akin to Islamic supremacists, that they want to impose their vision on the world.
Yeah.
What is the end game for the climate alarmist crowd?
Well, I think I think at the extreme end, there is an actual hatred of humanity. And those are the people who say, well, there's 7 billion people on the planet and our maximum carrying capacity should only be 2 billion. So therefore we have to figure out a way how to persuade the other 5 billion to go out of business. And at a slightly less insane level, but related to that, are those who are anti the developed world, in the sense that if you're picking which 2 billion people are allowed to survive, they point out that someone who's born in Somalia has a carbon footprint that's only a 20th the size of someone who's born in Sweden or someone who's born in Canada. So therefore, it's the Western world that needs to put itself out of business. Roger Kimball quoted someone at the start of business here today who said that they were actually in the de-development of that's the word they use.
But it's progressive.
Well, it's by which they mean by progressive is returning us to some Edenic state. Now, I don't particularly. If you were to wind back the clock to before the Industrial Revolution, there's lots of bits of that world that I would quite like, and I myself would be interested in living in that world. But the idea that a bunch of people who've done 6-year bachelor's degrees in environmentalism studies courses could survive, even if you had like an EMP attack and all the computers were wiped out and the planes dropped from the skies and the cars ceased to function. And we went back 150, well, we went back to, say, Jacksonian America. The difference in Jacksonian America is that every able-bodied guy knows how to build a log cabin. They know how to chop down a tree. They know how to frame a house. They know how to put a door in the house. They know what the pitch of the roof should be, and they know how to shingle a roof. And the idea that the beneficiaries of the most pampered, extended adolescence in the history of mankind would suddenly be at ease in that world is absolutely ridiculous. And I sometimes, in my more lurid fantasies, everyone thinks it'll be great. Everyone thinks it'll be like whatever that Raquel Welch film from the 60s is, where she's running around in a fur-trimmed bikini. Well, you couldn't have the fur-trimmed bikini now because it's bad to wear animal pelts. So Raquel Welch would be running around nude. The film would be even better. But the idea that these people, that this generation would be able to live for a minute in that world. Essentially, we have two competing views of primitivism fighting for supremacy in our world. Both of them hate the Western developed world. The environmental crowd think it's a great evil. So do the Sharia crowd. And once every so often, these conflicting models of primitivism interact. Earth Hour. You know Earth Hour, this ridiculous thing every year where they turn off the lights for an hour on a Saturday evening and you pretend you're doing something to save the planet by sitting in the dark for an hour. In Sweden, a Swedish town a couple of weeks ago, they had to cancel Earth Hour because they've taken in so many so-called refugees that it's unsafe to switch the lights off for an hour because the hot Scandinavian blondes are going to be feeling a lot of unwanted attention as they're wandering around an entirely darkened Swedish town for 60 minutes. And that's fascinating to me. That's the two different models of primitivism, two groups that most hate the modern Western world and want to destroy it and have competing models of primitivism. And the soft, delusional, utopian primitivism of Western environmentalists, when it came up against the hard, serious face of hardcore Islamic primitivism, Earth Hour in Sweden, the hardcore guys, their primitivism model won out because they mean it, and these soft, sappy, deluded, middle-aged Western students don't.
So in other words, Islamic supremacists will save us from the environmentalist crowd.
I hope it doesn't come to that. If it were to be that, I'd be looking for a neither of the above box somewhere on the form.